Okay, what's up? Maik Wiedenbach here. Here we are at the YouTube studios. I brought my Venice Beach tank top because we're talking about the great ones from Venice Beach. Frank Zane. Frank Zane, in my opinion, had one of the best bodies ever. No questions asked. So, in my opinion, there was Frank Zane, Danny Padilla, Bob Perez, and Lila Brada. Greatest physiques of all times. Now, yes, I'm not a mass monster fan, but so this video will have hopefully two layers. What can we learn from Frank Zane? So there's a guy who's 5'9", 185, and wins 3 Mr. Olympias. Okay? Now there's Sergio, 240, Arnold, 232. There's a lot of guys a lot bigger than him. So how do you do it, right? What is the trick? He had small joints, so he could not ever pull off that kind of mass. So what he did, he worked on his symmetry. He had narrow waist, broad shoulders, beautiful abdomen. He could do the vacuum like no one else, quad sweep and all that sort of thing. How did he train? He trained push-pull legs. So first day would be like, say, shoulder focused, and then back, bicep sort of thing. Sometimes more on in terms of rows, pull downs, and then legs, which he often split in quad and hamstring days. Took the day off, repeated. What's interesting is that he never trained heavy. He tried it once, got injured, back, knees. What he was big on was tension. So he was convinced that if you couldn't feel the muscle with your eyes closed, you're wasting your time. So as opposed to what you see today, like he was very in tune with everything. Which is also the reason why, if you Google it, I'm gonna bring this photo actually, there's a picture of him when he was 64, 65, looking phenomenal, okay? Because he never got a big injury, and because he never trained all that heavy. So he trained high volume, pretty short breaks, like 45 seconds, and worked on tension. His diet is also interesting. So his diet, he always ate very little. So 3,000 calories was the most he ever ate, 3,200. He kept the protein about 1 gram, carbohydrates 0.75, fats the rest. He would do 1 high carb day every 3 to 4 days to replenish and then repeat. So like, one day think about 100 grams of carbs, then up to 200 for the 3rd day and repeat. So that made sense in terms of longevity also, and he never bulked up, okay? So he grew his physique very gradually up to that level of 185, went to the 200s once, didn't like it, and came back down. But there were never these monster swings of, let's say, where he would be 230 and diet down and sort of thing. So he was always building over the course of 10, 15 years this physique and then perfected it, personally, I think in 1979 at the Olympia, where he just looked phenomenal, okay? He was very diligent, very organized, experimented with amino acids, a lot of supplements. Yes, he probably used drugs, but I don't want to gossip because I don't know, I wasn't there. But from what I've seen, how he looks now, he seems very healthy. So he obviously didn't overdo anything, right? So Frank Zane, what we can learn from his push-pull legs, high volume, short breaks, work on tension, don't overeat. I have never been a fan of these excessive bulks because they just create too much fat gain and it's too stressful on the body and to come back down. So I feel vindicated that Frank Zane didn't do that either. But I feel there's more to Frank Zane than just the body and the training and diet. He was and is very articulate. He has a master's degree. He also had a job. Imagine that. He had an actual job while training for the Mr. Olympia. So he was training and taught math as a school teacher. So I feel today, after watching Generation Iron 3, a lot of guys are very one-dimensional, right? It's like drugs, training, sleep, food, drugs, training, sleep, food. But there is a life outside bodybuilding, okay? So Frank Zane got involved into Zen meditation, Far Eastern philosophy. He broadened his horizon, and that made him a long-term economical and physical success, okay? So don't narrow yourself down too much. Bodybuilding isn't everything. Bodybuilding is fun. But think about it. If a Mr. Olympia can achieve that level of development, these titles, make those gains while pursuing a master's degree and having a job, there's no reason why you shouldn't do the same, okay? So I think it's time that we step away from this very one-dimensional idea of like the gym is everything, we wear gym clothes all the way we go, only talk about bodybuilding and nothing else. You know, open a book, learn something. You know, it will do your body good and your mind, and you know what? Also your wallet, because you're going to be more employable as if you're just a gym bro with big muscles. So push-pull legs, high volume, short rest, keep the diet clean, don't bulk all that much, work on tension, and read books. That's what you can learn from Frank Zane. Maik out.